At the beginning of the 20th century, America didn't drive. It walked, down muddy roads between factory towns and endless farmland. The automobile was a luxury, a toy for the rich, a symbol of status and power, until one man decided that a car shouldn't be a privilege. It should be a right. His name was Henry Ford. He didn't invent the automobile. He invented the way to build it for everyone. When he founded Ford Motor Company in 1903, he had less than $30,000 and more ambition than all of Detroit combined. His dream was simple. I want to build a car for the ordinary man. For the farmer, the worker, the teacher, a car everyone can afford. But at the time, that dream sounded insane. In the early 1900s, a car cost as much as a house. They were built slowly by hand, one at a time, like jewelry for the elite. So Ford did something no one else had dared to try. He put production itself on the move. In 1913, inside his Highland Park factory, the first moving assembly line in history came to life. The world had never seen anything like it. Where dozens of men once spent an entire day building a single car, now a new Ford Model T rolled off the line every 90 minutes. That machine became the icon of an age. Simple, reliable, cheap. It could be repaired in a barn, in a field, or under the rain. And for the first time, a worker could afford to buy the very product he made. It wasn't just an invention, it was a social revolution. But the miracle of mass production had a price. A human one. Ford called the assembly line a blessing. The workers called it a curse. The repetition was endless. The pace relentless. Dozens quit every day, unable to keep up. Then Ford made a decision that shocked the entire industrial world. In 1914, he announced, $5 a day for every worker. That was double the national average. The press called him insane. Business owners said he would destroy the labor market. But Ford understood something they didn't. High wages weren't charity. They were strategy. A worker who earns well doesn't leave. A stable worker builds faster. And most importantly, he becomes a customer. Ford didn't just build cars. He built consumer society itself. His ideal wasn't a luxurious automobile, it was a system where millions of people could buy the things they produced. To Ford, the world was a giant machine, precise, rational, predictable. He hated chaos. He worshipped order. But in his obsession with control, he went too far. He created not just factories, but a whole social system. Fordism, where a man became part of the mechanism. He monitored his workers' behavior, imposed moral codes, and even tried to control how they spent their free time. For Ford, productivity wasn't just an industrial goal. It was a moral duty. The power that built his empire also became its curse. By the 1920s, Ford began refusing change. He was convinced the Model T was perfect. Meanwhile, the world was evolving. Chevrolet and Chrysler offered color, comfort, and choice. Ford still offered one thing, a black car. His own philosophy, mass, uniformity, simplicity, began to strangle the company. In 1927, production of the Model T stopped. After 15 million cars, it was the end of an era. Yet Ford Motor Company survived. It endured the Great Depression, built tanks and jeeps during World War II, and entered the post-war boom as part of the American dream. Its cars became cultural symbols, the Mustang of speed, the Thunderbird of freedom, the F-150 of work and strength. But Ford's shadow never disappeared. The same power that made him a visionary showed how thin the line is between genius and dictator. He distrusted bankers, avoided politicians, but built his own empire of control, where discipline mattered more than ideas, and the machine mattered more than the man. Ford wanted to give people freedom, and he did. But he did it through a system that turned freedom into production. Today, Ford Motor Company is more than a car manufacturer. It's a mirror of a century. It has survived booms and collapses, oil crises, and electric revolutions. It still builds cars, Bucker, but not only from metal. Now, from data, algorithms, and automation. Once again, it stands on the edge of revolution. Only this time, the question isn't about wheels. It's about who will be behind the wheel, the human or the machine. And perhaps that is Henry Ford's ultimate paradox. He wanted to make work easier and turned man into part of a system. He dreamed of liberating society and built a machine that now moves on its own. Henry Ford put the world on wheels, and now that world is rolling forward to a place he could never have imagined.